this computer. So here we go, live, connecting with my papito in South Africa, Cape Town, mother city.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting again in Germany at the moment, and I thought, let's kick this off, man. And what are you currently up to?
I'm actually just trying to fix my website. Figuring out all this e-commerce stuff. It's crazy. It's a little bit complicated, but I'm getting there.
So you've been a friend of mine and a brother of mine for the people that don't know for a very, very long time. And I just want to thank you for taking the time off so I can ask some questions, which I think will bring some value to everybody that is looking into doing similar things. And just to get to know more about you and people that don't know you, I want to share a screen. Actually, you're involved in certain different things. I mean, not only fitness, your root, if I would say, your base layer, what you got passionate about, physical appearance, training, mind, body, and spirit, is probably parkour. What is your background? What have you done before? How did you got actually involved into this whole thing?
So, it's a long story.
Yeah,
let me start.
Just share it, man.
Yeah, man. Let me start. So, I came to South Africa about 11 years ago to study publishing in Pretoria, and around that time, I picked up parkour as a hobby. And as I was doing parkour and studying at the same time, really just finding myself.
How old have you been there at that time?
2009. I was turning 20, so 19, 20 years old.
Hell yeah.
And so while I was studying, things kind of went down and I couldn't afford to finish studying. And at that point, I had two options. I could either find my way back home to Zim and just call it a day, or I could use the resources and skills and connections I had and try and find something else to do. And so I decided option B was the best. Took the little money I had, flew to Cape Town, and kind of grinded and hustled my way into the stunt industry. So that's where it started. And from there, things kind of...
That was 2013.
Yeah, that's when we met, bro. That was, 2013. That's when we met, man.
Intense. Yeah. It's been a journey.
It's been a journey, and you had just come... I think you had visited Cape Town before, and then you came back now for more permanent things. And that's when
it's a beautiful place where you can really grow and flourish. I mean, that's what I like to mention.
Grow, connect with strong, like-minded individuals, and that's what happened, man. That's how we met. And yeah, man, I mean, skip a few years forward, lots of stuff. We've both worked in the same industry. We've both experienced the same work life, the same hustle, the same grind.
The grind, man, 24/7.
Both of us had that point where we were sponsored by New Balance. Good times.
Yeah. I remember. You really got me into this, and that's what I have to mention at this point, because at the end, without you like getting into the soul zone, I think you even started with vitamin water or something like this, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I started with vitamin water. That was before I even moved to Cape Town. We had a deal, Sabotage Elite, my parkour crew. We had a deal with vitamin water. It was nice.
This website down here, if you can see it, Sabotage Elite, for everybody that is around Cape Town, Johannesburg, and once I step into the, let's say, alternative direction, then they should get in touch with you, man. I'm gonna put all your details, of course, inside this video into the description, so everything will be found for anybody looking for your contact details. Yeah, man, 2013, and the hustle and vitamin water. Why did I stop you? And
yeah, it's like looking back, you're actually taking me way back, man. Yo, that was
but without you, I would have never had this thought of trying to form an alliance so that like two parties can help each other to expand and grow further, you know. And then also then I like what you mentioned a while ago, and that's why I really want to bring you up, because you creating opportunities for others while partnering up with fitness brands and sports brands. So I mean, this value again can attract more people and individuals and help them, you know. So I really really want to give this a shout out, because you really do good and great work, and should be
Dude, thanks.
obviously an inspiration for much more to come. And I in my honest opinion hope Cape Town in the future can be transformed and also like a crazy mecca for movers and artists and athletes. So once this crisis has resolved and things, I mean, they go into a positive direction, I would say, if you try to transform and adapt in those times and not try to be stuck in old patterns or things. I mean, then yes, but it's gonna be rough,
For
and
sure.
we don't know how long it's gonna take.
For sure. And I mean, like, for me, man, it's the people who came before me lifted me up. So it's like you want to continue that cycle so that everything continues to grow, because without others before me, there wouldn't really have been me. And so who am I to stop that cycle? So that's the philosophy I operate on. And just to give you some props as well, man, like your work ethic is something that's really inspired me, especially when it comes to like consistency. Because I noticed that you're very consistent, man. Like when you're producing your content, when you're training, when you're drilling your skills, you're very consistent. And it's that consistency when you stick to something, no matter what it is.
Stubborn.
It's for no choice but to grow. And when you continue to just be persistent, you know what you want, you focus, and you work and you work and you work. There's no option but success. So yeah, that's something that I've gained inspiration from you, man. So shout out for that.
I'm working on it, man. I'm harnessing it as much as I can, and just now in those times, it helped me a lot. Because if you are, that's what I believe. If you're really consistent and how can I say, if you appreciate the grind and are thankful for that grind, then it just gives you solidarity, solitude, and it gives you a foundation to step on. Like you said, your roots, your background, where how did you know who inspired you back then? You're honoring that and sticking to the root and your passion and trying to help others and inspire others. So each one teach one, man. We that also awakened this whole hyperbolic project in some sorts. Definitely you had an influence, because I thought, listen, we're in new times, we can bring value to others through this new media and the events and sponsors and all of this mindset. That's why I wanted to bring you on to share some things, you know, basically for newcomers or kids in the communities that want to, how can I say, go into social media. I mean, you've stepped up your game.
Oh yeah,
for sure, you know, like
yeah.
you've been grinding hard, and maybe you can share some things. How did you get into it, and what is your approach to all of that?
The social media stuff really just, it happened without me even realizing. My passion was always just to move and to display that passion. So when I started parkour, I hardly even really made an effort to capture any content. It just started with just going to jams and doing my thing, and then one day some dude who happened to take some pictures would be like, "Hey, look, there's pictures. Look at these pictures of you doing this thing." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's put that on Facebook." Put it on Facebook, and people were just like, "Wow, what are you doing? That's amazing. That's inspiring." And then it just kind of it snowballed from that, man. And then when I started being more conscious of it, of the power of social media and the value of the content I was producing, that's when I started to see other opportunities open up, where I could actually make something off social media, make a living, actually make money. And that's when I started landing deals with sponsors. New Balance was one. And I grew that into an actual part of my career. And social media today is actually part of my livelihood. I sustain myself with a lot of the work that I do with brands and content creation. And I've evolved from just initially just posting parkour clips and parkour pictures and into fitness, which is my biggest passion right now. Just helping people understand how to elevate themselves and how to elevate their health, and physical well-being. And yeah, so that's one thing you have to know about social media is don't try too hard, because when you try too hard, you're going to be comparing yourself to other people and you're going to lose your voice, and you're going to be more focused on pleasing a crowd. You should focus on pleasing yourself. And that's what I did. I was like, I like this. I like creating this content. I like producing this material, and I like putting it out there and having it known that this is what I do. This is my creation. Because a lot of people these days, they come out and they're like, how do you become an influencer? I want to become an influencer and sign brand deals and make money. And then that's the mentality that a lot of people start with. If you start with, you can't start that way. You have to seek personal glory first. The most successful people, they didn't seek the riches or the material gains first. They looked for personal glory. How can I impress myself?
Be your own
First,
hero.
be your own hero, impress yourself, and then others will be impressed. If you go for impressing others first, you're not going to get anywhere, because you're looking externally, and you always measure yourself against other people with their own journeys. And especially if you're trying to do that for money, it doesn't work. So go for your own glory. Go for be your own hero. Be that guy that the young you, the kid version of you, looks up to and says, that's a cool guy. That's the strategy. Just being in the moment. So yeah, social media, from a strategic standpoint, there's a lot of strategies. There's a lot of things you can do, hashtags, how to make your content stick out, visual identity, how to connect with an audience. That's a whole other thing. But the most important thing is authenticity. As I always say this, authenticity sells. If you are you, and you're doing you to the best of your ability, there's going to be a market for it. No matter what it is, there's going to be a market. So just be authentic.
Just to that, I just thought I had a question about this really being your own hero. If you also, like for me, for my background with tricking, I think it gives you this challenge of it's just you and the thing in front of you. There is nobody to please. You must just like surprise yourself. If your body will be capable and your mind will be capable to execute a certain movement. So I think it's really important that this underground niche is better exposed to you know, just everybody that is talented in that what they do, that they have a chance of actually also making money, like you do, you know.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
why it's really something that if you have a passion and then you really genuinely raw in yourself and you're good at it, and it inspires others, then I think it's definitely some valuable information we can get from you. I know there's strategies and all of that stuff, so maybe people that are interested, they can get in touch with you and ask them more specifically.
yeah, for
Um,
sure. Yeah, definitely. Like I don't mind. I've got a memo. It's very basic information on how to optimize your social media, well, specifically Instagram, because that's my main platform. I'm gearing up for more YouTube stuff because I think I've been neglecting the YouTube side of things. But
yeah,
I've got
I wanna mention that because I
got
think
myself some gear, man. I've got myself
yeah,
setting up a whole situation. So YouTube is on the cards now.
I'm looking
That's the
forward to
next
it, man.
one.
That's
Yeah,
that's that's this one, Trace Fit, right? Functional
yeah.
functional
Great.
mobility. Also one of your projects. So definitely, guys, I'm also gonna put that in the description because I know you do good recorded animal flow stuff and functional training and exercise. So why not if you
Mm.
share it there? I think the people will appreciate it. And what can I say? So let's and get verified. I say to you again, get yourself this. I don't know if you can see this button here. So if you're verified, I could send you donate or
Yeah,
everybody that uses Brave can basically send you donations as an appreciation for your content. So it's a pretty dope browser. But I don't want to get into that because let me this I struggle stop share and because I had a more important question. I don't want to forget. What's your current training regime and work schedule? Just so, if you want to share it, you know, so that people know what kind of hustle it is actually to be your own boss. You know.
mm. So training. Right now I'm very because of lockdown and all that kind of bullshit. It's very modified from what I usually do. So usually what I do is I mix up my strength and conditioning with a lot of heavy lifting. I've really started getting into lifting.
Yeah, you gotten
I
swole,
enjoy
man.
it.
You got big, very
Yeah,
Delta
it's,
Force is calling. Sometimes when I see your
yeah, man.
shoulders,
It's
I'm like,
been it's a
damn.
nice evolution, man. So I'm enjoying that. But obviously, with the gyms being closed, I haven't really had access to the heavy stuff. So I've been challenging my body weight training with a lot of different variations just to try and get some extra resistance. I've even thrown in a weight vest and some ankle and wrist weights just to make things a bit more challenging. And then I mix that up with a lot of skills work. Again, because of lockdown, I can't do the usual thing where I do some parkour drills and some basic tricking. So right now I'm just doing more ground level, sort of primal movement, animal flow type of things, which is it's still good. It still gets me to move my joints and to engage my full range of motion, which is at the end of the day, it's about mobility. So as long as you maintain your mobility and your strength and conditioning, then you're good to go. So between mobility training and strength and conditioning with body weight and calisthenics, that's my training right now. And then I've also just started doing more cardio. Got myself a bike
Yeah,
and
I saw that
exercise.
post. It was sick.
Yeah, man, really happy with that. Good investment. So I've started taking my cardio training more seriously because, again, with parkour and tricking, it's a lot of cardio that you're doing. And because I don't have too much access to doing those forms of training right now, I thought, let me sort the cardio out with a bike. And it's actually been, my cardio hasn't been this good in a long time. If ever, actually. It's probably the best cardio that I've had. So yeah, that's my
you look
training.
strong and good, man, and lean. And you also,
thank you, brother. So do you.
You're keeping the same grind, man. I'm also now inspired because Malik, I don't know if you met him while he was in Cape Town. He gave me this amazing shoulder routine because I had some pains last week, and I'm like, damn, Delta City, Delta Davis is on the way, man, stepping up. And
get them belts.
Hell yeah. Another thing, what are your do you have like any specific goals for the rest of the year and like a general outlook or vision you're trying to sculpt or anything currently?
Yeah, I've got a few personal goals. Firstly, right now I just really want to launch the Trace Fit site. I'm this close. I just need to sort out a few little bits and pieces with the website, and then it's gonna go live. And and then I just want to personal goals. I want to buy my own property. I just want to get a place somewhere to call home and to call it my home. So that's another thing that I'm aiming for this year. And then I just want to travel, man. I had big travel plans.
Same.
This year was just not the traveling year, as it turns out, but I had big travel plans. As soon as things are fine, I guess I'll do that.
You must come visit me in Serbia. I might go to Serbia, like somewhere in
actually,
summer.
I do want to check out Serbia. My next door neighbor, she's Serbian actually. She says she grew up in Hungary, but she's from Serbia. Just describing it to me, so I'm actually keen to check it out, man.
You are welcome anytime, man.
Thanks, brother. Thanks. Yeah. So those, and you, what are you, what's going on? Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing
what
is
are your goals?
This Hyperbolic 2020 for this decade, what I'm focusing on, just to give back to all the movement communities and all the inspiring people that I was exposed to over the past years. And now, like with this crisis, this came as a great opportunity because it brings value to everybody that wants to look more into it and make use of this opportunity. And I thought, hey, I'm having something to give back. Why not do it? So I pushing currently this project to the fullest, and then just generally upgrading myself and recalibrating, reinventing, getting stronger, more disciplined. I mean, I was consistent with my training, but with my diet, I wasn't really as much as I could have been. So I'm always fine tuning a bit, and currently, that's the thing. Bettering myself and this project, pushing it to the next level, connecting as many people possible,
Can I just say one thing, man?
For sure, brother.
I like the way you speak, because you keep referring to what's going on right now as an opportunity. A lot of people don't look at it that way. I look at it that way. That's why I'm saying I like how you speak, because
it's only two ways.
You're constantly referring to it as an opportunity, and it's not a problem. It's not it's the name is crisis. That's what it's called. But you're not looking at it as a crisis. Your value of the situation is as an opportunity, and that's really important. A lot of people obviously it makes sense for a lot of people not to be able to see it as an opportunity, because there are quite a lot of people who it's just completely destroyed their sense of what they expected from life. So when you're able to say opportunity, for me, that's hopeful. That gives hope and it shows that you are definitely on the right path, and we've got shit to do, we've got work to do, and you're doing it.
Man,
So yeah.
man got work to do, man. And I see that's the thing, man. I'm thankful for this, not only because you share your value, but also personally. Like, what you see, this technology now connects us. We're at the end of the, we have to be also grateful for every day we have, like you refer, opportunity. Every day you can do something. I mean, not just like give up or hope things will change. We have the power to change, man. And I hope my internet connection is not
things will, that whole us waiting for things to change doesn't work. I've been that person who relied on the circumstances, and it's a very weak position to take. As recent as a year ago, I was that guy who reacted to situations, and instead of being proactive in creating them. So yeah, it's very important to look at things like that. Shift the mindset.
It comes with time, man. With each obstacle, that's what I believe. Or with each situation, for me, it sounds crazy, but it's like a game. You can choose how to conquer the mission. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's why
I was actually
blessed for the mission. I
was gonna say it's like a game. You know why? Yesterday I watched Joe Rogan.
Which one? Which episode?
The one with Kevin Hart.
I must check that out.
And that's exactly what Kevin Hart was saying. Is like, life is like a game. You know, when you play an RPG like Skyrim, for example, and
that's good.
You're leveling up your skills, you're earning resources and all that. Obviously, it's not a game. Like, it's not a game because shit's serious. But if you treat it the way that you treat a game, where you put enough effort in a certain event or situation, you elevate to the next level, to the next stage. It's standard procedure. That's what happens. That's why I was also saying your consistency, the work ethic. If you put it in, life has no choice but to take you to the next level. If people just see it that way, no matter what your situation is, if you have the mindset, and you also need to have the mindset where you allow yourself the most. A lot of people think wrongfully that they deserve a certain amount out of life, and then that's the limit. And then even when they get to a point where they can have more, the mindset has already said, no, this is all you get, this is all you deserve. So when they're at that point where they're about to get more, it's almost as if they sabotage themselves to keep them at that level. So that's another thing, like that mindset, where, like, that's why it's also like a game, where when you're playing a game, you want to finish the game. You don't want to stay in the same level. So if you think of that level as the only level, you're never going to progress the game. You're never going to reach the boss stage.
Yeah, I like that, the whole perspective, man. Totally, I agree. I can resonate so much with it. So much.
Yeah, I know. I see you, bro.
And the more important thing is sometimes it came as a flashback just recently, and it's a circle. Some things in life are a circle, and if you have enough experience points in life, you play the game again, but with better stats,
Yeah.
And that's what Hyperbolic 2020 is for, to provide the upgraded stats in health and wealth, bro. And that said, I'm just gonna cut this episode here, man. Thanks for coming on the cast. We're gonna remain on the line because I haven't heard you in a while. So thanks again, man. All of the details.
Thanks for having me, bro. And shout out to everyone watching.
Kaboom, guys. Visit his stuff, man. It's valuable. And stay inspired like Delta Force Kundai Murapa. Peace out.
Thank you, brother.